Right then, lads, just finished watching the game on the big screen, HD quality. 4-2 to Team Bow. Overall, it wasn't really a good game. I mean, it was a tight game. Both teams didn't want to give nothing away. Deserved winners, Team Bow, yes, I'd say that. Not because they played better, it's because they made less errors, which I say won them the game. To start off with, Neemo, your shooting boots were left at home or Shaq tied them up. I don't know. That was a big factor because, you know, normally you put a lot of them chances away. Also, Neemo, I know everyone's having a go at Muxin and everyone's having a go at Abid, but really, I don't think that was your main problem. I mean, Muxin's flicks, he flicks every single game. That's not a problem. The main problem which I found was that you deployed two wingers on each side and then you had two people in the midfield, Asad and Abid, right? Hold that thought for 1 second. You deployed two wingers, but every time you guys got the ball and you were in a 3-on-3 situation with their defense, you'd panic and you would force the ball. So instead of waiting and holding up and looking for the opening and doing a simple pass, you guys had the tendency to just get the ball and just look for the killer pass all the time. And really, Zarek was terrible in defense. I mean, like, he was there for the taking again. But because of the way you guys passed it, you guys made him look better than what he actually played. His distribution was average. And Doc, you know, at least, yeah, he was landing on a 6-yard box. But again, if you held the ball up and waited for Abid and George to come into play, maybe that would have been a different ball game altogether. Going on to Abid and George, yeah, Abid didn't track back as much, but he's not the type of person to track back. He wouldn't make the runs to support you guys up front, and that paid, that proved costly. And George, at times, his positioning was terrible. I mean, he didn't know when to stay back, when to push forward, because as you are in midfield, you're not a defender. There was a lot of times George would be a second centre back at times, leaving that big gap. So when Abid would look up, all he had was you three to aim at the top. He couldn't play a 1-2 with George and just gradually push it up. Whereas if the Klosnich, Bow, even Burby, I mean, Burby led, perfect example, what he did on Sunday. Like, he was getting a ball, waiting, playing a quick pass, and then moving forward. I mean, the gap sometimes between your midfield and defence was just like they were holding hands, which is not good. And so, yeah, I think that's where you guys lost the game. I wouldn't say Bow's team was amazing and they played brilliantly. I mean, they're just like run-of-the-mill. So that was good. Saj, Buckers had you wickedly. You know what I mean? Billy said to you, any words for the camera? And Buckers goes, yeah, I missed another sitter. So, Saj, you're the main man for sitters. Who else? Yeah, if the Burby, I reckon, played well. Vidic, right, you know, his performance stood out from Neemo's team. You know what I mean? He was the only one interested. He was getting forward, getting back, winning the ball. He was interested. Kaiser, you were just sat for some reason behind Addy at times. I don't know why, but maybe you weren't interested or you give up. I don't know. It was hard to tell. Talat, again, you played well. You know, there was a lot of fight in you, but I just couldn't figure out where you were playing. You know, were you a centre back? Were you defensive mid? Or I don't know where you were playing. So, good game, guys. Let's see what happened next week, yeah? Peace.